Hey, what's up, guys? Joker here. Today we have got a couple of news stories to get through. One which is kind of a follow-up and also a pretty big news story concerning AMD's Raja Koduri, or formerly AMD's Raja Koduri, I really should say at this point in time, as well as the announcement of a Star Wars-themed Nvidia graphics card, which is just as ridiculous as it sounds. But let's start off with AMD and Raja Koduri. If you remember, a little over a month ago, I had reported on a story where Raja Koduri was going to be taking a sabbatical from AMD and the Radeon Technologies Group following the launch of RX Vega. Now, at the time, a lot of people had theorized that maybe this was because of the launch of Vega and maybe because it didn't go as smooth as a lot of people had hoped that it would. And after, the sabbatical, which was supposed to extend through the end of 2017, Raja was meant to come back with AMD and be repositioned within the company to a different role that would allow him to maybe spend more time with his family, because that was one of the big driving factors that he had put out in his statement for the sabbatical, was to spend more time with his family. But now, just 40 days later, Raja has come forward and has put out a statement saying that he is officially leaving AMD and the Radeon Technologies Group. Quoting him over on Hexus.net, he says, 40 is a significant number in history. It is a number representing transition, testing, and change. I have just spent 40 days away from the office going through such a transition. It was an important time with my family, and it also offered me a rare space for reflection. During this time, I have come to the extremely difficult conclusion that it is time for me to leave Radeon Technologies Group and AMD. So there you have it directly from Raja himself. He does go on to say quite a bit more, which is just really kind of, congratulating AMD and the launch of Vega and how he hopes they do well going forward. If you want to read the full statement over on Hexus' website, I'll leave a one-tab link down in the description below with all of the sources for today's stories. But there you have it. That was the official statement from Raja. He says he's leaving AMD and he's probably going to be, probably seeking out jobs with other tech companies out there, which really kind of brings us into our second thing with this, which is really just a rumor, honestly. This is being perpetuated over on WCCF Tech by their own Husman Pirzada, which I believe that's how you pronounce that. He has said that after speaking with his industry contacts within the companies, he is saying that Raja is actually going to be shifting over to Intel, which would be huge. And it would also kind of make a lot of sense, because if you remember, just yesterday, we reported on that story where AMD had partnered with Intel to include Radeon graphics on their upcoming lineup of Kaby Lake G CPUs, putting Radeon, HBM, and Intel all on a single package for OEMs and laptop builders out there. So that would be a huge move, bringing Raja over to Intel, and like I said, it would make a lot of sense. And because we've already seen some initial benchmarks get leaked online for these new CPU packages from Intel teaming up with AMD on things like Ashes of the Singularity and Geekbench, we know that these packages are already out there and being tested, so it would seem to come to reason that they have been working on this for some time, and very likely Raja has been involved in that process. As being part of Radeon Technologies Group for over the past 2 years, it would seem very likely that he has been working on this project since its inception, and he's probably going to pick up that mantle, no pun intended, mantle, AMD, get it? Never mind. It would make a lot of sense if he were to pick up that mantle over at Intel and help them out with the graphics side of thing. Also, possibly their moves with AI, which is really going directly up against Nvidia, who is kind of the only one out on this deal. The whole thing with Intel and AMD teaming up, this is really looking like they are going right after Nvidia with integrated graphics, wanting to do things with machine learning and AI, and bringing in someone like Raja Koduri with his knowledge and expertise in that field is going to help Intel a lot, especially if he's already been involved with the process of developing these new packages for Intel. So really do look forward to seeing how this progresses going forward in the future. Again, the part about him joining Intel right now is still, I'm calling it a rumor, but him leaving AMD, that is a fact. He has officially left AMD. It just remains to see where he's going to actually land and if these rumors about him joining Intel are true. But let me know what you think about that down in the comments below. Do you think Raja will be joining Intel, and are you happy about that? I'm sure the AMD subreddit is collectively gasping like, oh no, our precious Raja, and Raja we trust, is leaving AMD, going over to Team Blue. Sorry days. But next up, we've got a story concerning Nvidia and their Titan XP graphics card. Not the big P, the little P. The little P, everyone knows about the big P, the little P. Everyone knows that I've got the biggest P, and Titan X has got the little P, okay? Cool. All right, so Titan X little p. This is what you get when you have literally zero competition in the graphics card space, which, okay, yeah, okay, maybe like 1070 and Vega 56, they've got some competition there, but then they just came out with the 1070 Ti, and it's just like, okay, Nvidia, like, you won this round, and before, wait for Volta and Navi. Like, that's going to be the next matchup. But right now, Nvidia is kind of sitting at the top of the throne as far as graphics cards are concerned, at least. And right now, they've announced a partnership with Star Wars to put out 2 custom Titan X Collector's Edition cards, one for the Galactic Empire and one for the Jedi. So you're going to have a green card and a red card. And also the shrouds in the cards look a little bit different as well. We can get a look at them right here. You can kind of see them side by side. The one for the Galactic Empire is certainly themed after like something like a Darth Vader, you know, lightsaber. What's hilt? Is that a hilt? I don't know. I think it's the hilt. Maybe not the hilt. I don't know parts of swords and lightsabers. I'm not like an uber nerd. The Jedi Order, then they've got one that is kind of themed for the Jedi Order. You've got a green one and then you've got a red one. So that's pretty much it. Don't get me wrong, the cards look pretty cool. They are going to be coming in at the same price as the Titan X little p, which is $1,200. So they're not charging an exorbitant amount of money on top of what is already an exorbitant amount of money for a Titan XP graphics card, because you can get roughly the same performance with a 1080 Ti for around $700. So I'm not too sure how many people are going to go out and snatch up these cards, because it really just seems like their last-ditch effort to kind of stretch out Pascal for as long as they can before they start transitioning into making Volta cards. So I really hope that no one out there is thinking about picking up one of these cards, unless you are just an uber Star Wars fan and you just have to have this for whatever reason in your system. For me personally, I would have much rather have seen them just done a Titan XP with, you know, RGB, because the green lettering on the side of Nvidia cards doesn't really fit into every system out there. So having a green and a red card is not really fitting into that. I mean, red can fit into a lot of systems, but I'd rather just see RGB lighting on the Nvidia cards altogether. I think it would make a lot of sense on their reference cards to go towards RGB and let people customize the GeForce GTX logo on the side to their liking. So yeah, if you are for some reason going to pick up a Titan X little p Star Wars edition, let us know down in the comments below. Or though, like I said, if you're looking to spend $1,200 on a graphics card, like seriously, just wait for Volta or Navi, or just wait for something else other than this, because this is just pointless. This is what you do. Like I said, when you have no competition in the space, this is what you do with your time. You go out and you release Star Wars themed graphics cards. GG Nvidia. GG. But I'm going to go ahead and get on out of here, guys. Please let me know your thoughts, as always, on all of the stories here today down in the comments below. If you want links to any of the sources, I'll have a one-tab link down in the description, as well as my affiliate link over to cdkeys.com. So if you want to support the channel and get some games really cheap this holiday season over on CD Keys and support the channel, you could do that with my affiliate link down there. I think I said that a few times now. But I'm going to go ahead and get on out of here. If you enjoyed this video, leave a like on it and subscribe if you're not already. I'll catch you guys next time. Ciao.